Meghan had been sick for probably a week or so, and she couldn't breathe very well. I said, I'm coming home. You're going to go to the emergency room. So they did an x-ray. Then they proceeded with a CAT scan, and the CAT scan showed a mass draped over her heart. It was also attached to her lung. They sent the CAT scan information up to U of R. They found that she did have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
When I first met Meghan, she was quite ill and we needed to move quickly. We developed a treatment plan that included a cutting-edge clinical trial. She completed treatment after about 6 months, and at the end of the treatment, she was in a complete remission without evidence of disease.
I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, Haley. I had just hit my 4-year remission, which was so cool. After my daughter was born, I went in for a scheduled routine scan to follow up on my non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. During those tests, there was some spots on the scan that did raise some concern. It definitely was a moment of defeat because you thought you were cured. So we discussed with Dr. Friedberg. He did say that the chances of it being non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, again, were very slim.
It turned out Meghan had an extremely uncommon situation called a composite lymphoma that had elements of both Hodgkin and non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Her first treatment, directed at the non-Hodgkin lymphoma, was successful at eradicating that, but something later caused the Hodgkin lymphoma to recur. We were fortunate to discover the Hodgkin lymphoma at an early stage, which meant that the amount of therapy required was minimal and the cure rate was likely to be high. Since completion of treatment for her Hodgkin lymphoma, Meghan has not had any evidence of recurrent disease. She's thriving as a mother, as a medical professional, and living her best life.
So I'm in 7 years remission, which is pretty cool. There's some days when you're in the beginning that you're like, okay, I just gotta get through 1 more year, and 1 more year, and 1 more year. And the longer that you go out definitely brings some fears, but it's also that I've come so far, and it's just gonna keep getting longer and longer and longer.
Prior to Meghan's diagnosis, I had no idea that Wilmot Cancer Institute even existed. The people were welcoming and kind, professional. They were just amazing.
Dr. Friedberg and my Wilmot team at the Cancer Center, I consider family. They were there for me through the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs, and they truly made the healing process so much easier.
I now see Meghan once a year at our Wilmot Survivors Night at the Red Wing Stadium, and nothing gives me greater joy than seeing her not only survive but thrive with her growing child.